I've been training athletes professionally for over 15 years now, and I'm going to show you what has worked for me when I'm writing their program. So I'm going to show you how to set up workout programs if you're a beginner or a young athlete looking how to get started in the gym. I like to see my young athletes in the gym about 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Having a little bit of rigidity in their schedule sets them up for success, I find, and I want them doing the same workout every time they come into the gym. What that allows us to do is get them to see progression almost daily every time they work out, and allows us to change up their workout variables every 3 to 4 weeks. So a full body workout 3 times a week makes planning easy and makes recovery easy. A lot of my young athletes are also playing sports at the time, so it makes it easy for scheduling their practices and games as well. When we ask them to do these big ornate programs 5-6 days a week, we're not letting them recover properly, and their skill work and with their sports will take a hit. So let's get right into the template here. This is how I would want you to structure your workouts. We're gonna have things split up into different supersets, okay? So when you see an A, a B, a C1, C2, and then D1, 2, 3. What that is you're doing all the exercises in A together. So we're doing one set, you're taking your rest, do another set, take your rest, etc. And then you're moving on to the Bs. Same thing there. C's, you're doing C1, C2, back to back, maybe a 10-second rest in between, just walking to the next station, and then you're gonna take your rest. We're going to start with your lower body compound lift. I find those are a bit more difficult and heavier than your upper body lifts, especially for my younger athletes. So for these lower body lifts, we're looking at things like front squats and back squats, deadlift variations like trap bar and stiff-legged deadlifts, anything that can fit the mold of a big bilateral lift. Those lifts will go into these compound lifts. We then move on to your upper body compound lift, which is similar. So we're thinking about weighted chin-ups, bench press, barbell overhead press, big dumbbell press, all of those fit into this structure as well. After that, we move into your assistance lifts. So what I want you to think about for your assistance lifts are mainly gonna be unilateral, okay? So what that means is one arm and one leg. So we're thinking of lunges, step-ups, we're thinking of a lot of dumbbell work. We don't wanna do any more heavy, big bilateral work, any barbell work in this program. It's fine later on when you get more advanced in the gym, but for a younger athlete, we like to keep it mainly dumbbell and single leg work. So for your assistance lower body work, what I want you to think about is having 2 complementary leg exercises. I know some usually talk about knee extension, knee flexion, or pushing and pulling. What I want you to think about is having one variation of lunging in, so walking lunges, lateral lunges, front to back lunges, any split squat stance movement, and then one posterior movement. So hamstring curls, single leg deadlifts, glute bridging, anything like that that can work on posterior chain works as well. So have one of each of those, and then move on to the upper body. So for the assistance upper body, I want to make it a bit more simple. I just want you to think about moving on the horizontal or vertical plane throughout the full workout. So one workout, choose moving on the vertical plane and choose 2 complementary exercises. So what that would be like a lat pull down, for instance, and then to complement that, we'd do a standing shoulder press. In the next workout, move on the horizontal plane. So we're thinking about maybe a dumbbell press and a cable row. Just complementary exercises, keep it simple, and keep changing the exercise selection throughout the workouts. Finally, we get into the accessory work, and this is where I usually like to program things like core and lower back and extra hamstring work for my athletes. I find they're generally weak in those areas, but I also give my athletes some freedom. They want to do usually some bicep and tricep work, so I let them do that here as well. And we can progress many different ways. So you can add weight, you can add tempo, you can add reps and sets. I want to make this as easy as possible for my young athletes. So what we do is just keep the reps static, so keep them the same throughout the program, and add a little bit of weight each workout. So it doesn't mean you have to add weight to every single set. It just means the total volume goes up a little bit every workout. And you'd be surprised how much that adds up over a long duration of time, younger in your lifting career. What I want you to think about is never going to true failure. It's hard to recover from intra-set, and it can lead to injuries down the line. So what we want is to have reps in reserve of 2 to 3 after every set. What does that mean? Let's say you do a dumbbell press for 12 reps that you could have done for 15. That's a rep in reserve of 3. So we want to keep you around that range, keep some energy in the tank so you can push it next set and you don't run that risk of getting hurt. You have plenty of time down the line to push heavy weight when you get older and more experienced in the gym. For now, let's just build good movement patterns, be consistent, and get as strong as you can. And lastly is when to change the program. So again, like I mentioned earlier, I would like this run about 9 workouts, 3 times a week. So every 3 weeks, you're changing the program. You can keep the same template for a long time as long as we're changing the exercise selection. So again, we're changing our every single lift in this program and making it complementary. So last time, if we're doing upper body, vertical pushing and pulling, we're gonna move on to horizontal pushing and pulling. For our legs, if we're doing Walking lunges and step-ups, we're gonna change that to lateral lunges and single leg box squats. Anything that's complementary and different. For your compound lifts, let's say we're doing a heavy chin-up. Next workout, we're gonna do a bench press. If you're doing a heavy deadlift, we're gonna do a back squat. Anything that complements each other, but again, keep changing programs every 9 workouts. If you follow this program template and the exercise selection that I've laid out for you, I guarantee you will get stronger as long as you're consistent. Some people look at this program and think it's not enough volume or it's too easy. What I care about for my young athletes is keeping them consistently coming back to the gym. We don't want our young athletes worrying about all this big, ornate, undulating periodizations. It doesn't have to be all over the place and complicated. We want them coming in, lifting, and going home and recovering. I find now too often we're overanalyzing these little variables. Just come in, work out as hard as you can, and go home and sleep and eat well. Then once you've run this template through 5 or 6 times, maybe about 4 months, you can change up the workouts, going to like an upper lower body split maybe, working out 4 to 5 times a week. Once you've set the base from this program, we can move on, and I'll make another video in the future about what to do after you've done this. But again, if you're a beginner looking to work out, this is exactly how I would structure your programs. Any questions on exercise selections or anything you think I missed, let me know. Hopefully this works for you, and good luck in the gym.